Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I sacrificed my time so you don't have to. I apologize if you hear a bit of a different noise infliction. It's because right now I'm currently inside this fucking room right now, and I'm trying to install an air conditioner for, as I talked about, my loved one. Unfortunately, you know, it's a bit of a situation I can't go into details about. Can't get too personal. I can get personal with you guys, but I can't get too personal. But I said to myself, you know, I got some downtime. I'm listening to podcasts and stuff. I'm catching up on wrestling because I really haven't been doing anything wrestling related for about 2 or 3 days now, right? And this caught my attention, man. And I want to speak more about this because this is crazy. So the first thing that I actually seen was this post from Bully Ray. And I know people are going to laugh at Bully Ray. They're going to make fun of Bully Ray. Bully Ray has bad takes. Man, it's funny. I try my best nowadays to not try to look at a person on a surface level, and I try to take their opinions or their criticism, especially if they're in the business. I try to look at what they say, and I try to take it seriously for the most part. At least take what they're saying, dissect it, and then at least look at the material and not just dismiss it just because it comes from a person who you believe is a clown, or you believe like, oh, well, their words have no merit because of the things that they said in the past that you disagree with. Again, I don't mind tribalism anymore. I really don't care about the tribalism stuff, but I do have a certain thing against bias that I'm not for. But Bully Ray, he ended up saying something like this, and I've seen this post. He said, constructive criticism. Since you included FTW champion for Jericho and international champion for Ospreay, how about including AEW world heavyweight champion for Swerve? Hope this helps. And I didn't know he was talking about until I scrolled down and I see this post. And this is AEW. They're talking about the Wednesday night show that's going to happen. And I see all these things right here. And, you know, it's crazy. That is crazy, bro. I'm looking at all this stuff, and it's not even a situation where it's like, well, they're highlighting champions who happen to be in matches. I see we'll hear from Will Ospreay as the AEW International Champion. And I don't know, that's mad crazy. They just put Swerve Strickland returns. And, you know, they paid attention to detail when it came to a situation when talking about Ospreay. You know what I mean? Like, I see shit like that, and I do think to myself, like, bro, why y'all keep undercutting my boy Swerve, man? You know, and if you think that's crazy, I know you guys been hearing this for the past couple of days now. I'll touch on it right now. I know it's been around for about a week now, but I thought this was crazy too. I'll leave the article down in the description box below. I'm pretty sure some of you guys know, but some of you guys might not know. Check this out. At Forbidden Door on June 30th, Swerve Strickland defended his AEW World Championship against Will Ospreay in the main event. The bout is being highly praised by fans and critics alike, and in the end, Ospreay took his first singles loss in AEW. A new report from Fightful Select reveals that Ospreay himself pushed for this loss, wanting to help solidify Strickland's title reign. The two have been real-life friends and on-screen enemies for years across multiple promotions, and Ospreay reportedly was tired of hearing Swerve's title reign described as a placeholder. According to the report, Ospreay approached backstage officials and asked to take a loss against Strickland to quiet the notion. The report also notes that as there are major creative plans in place for Ospreay and AEW throughout the year, he had no problems taking a high-profile loss and wanted to use the situation to be a backstage example that AEW should be a team effort in order for the company to succeed. That's fucking wild. First off, the fact that you even allow that information to get out, in my opinion, is already bad enough. And to just outright let someone like Will Ospreay, see, that's crazy, bro. Why do you guys keep doing shit like this to Swerve Strickland, man? If it's not burying him by putting him in, like, never putting him in the correct spot or the correct position on the show as your world champion, you never utilize him as a world champion. You never show him off as a world champion. I know people are going to sit back and they're going to say things like, well, Devontae, Swerve Strickland is this, Swerve Strickland is that. Then why even put the world championship on him to begin with? See, that's my thing. I don't give a fuck about Swerve Strickland necessarily. That's not my crux of the issue. My crux of the issue is the person who holds the championship belt should get the highest priority. Why does it take someone like a Will Ospreay to have to go around telling fucking Tony Khan how to book his card, bruh? Like, bro, this is what I mean. This is what CM Punk was talking about when he told him to be a fucking boss. If you didn't want the World Championship on Swerve Strickland and you really desperately want to get it on Will Ospreay, then stop defeating the point of the World Championship. The World Championship ain't here to elevate anybody. It's to establish people. The person holding the World Championship elevates the belt, not the other way around, bruh. It's just nothing more than a notation of a person who has reached their actual pinnacle of success. And if that's not Swerve Strickland at the moment, then don't give the belt to Swerve Strickland. I'm tired of how the World Heavyweight Championship is treated, not just in AEW. I see the same situation on Raw sometimes with Damian Priest. If the guy isn't ready, don't give him the fucking belt. I don't know why this is so hard to decipher, bro. And it's really annoying because, again, you got someone like a Will Ospreay who seems like he's being put more important than the World Championship, but I'm not seeing any type of credibility, in my opinion, that coincides with that kind of decision or even that kind of thinking from him to believe that he's a locker room leader in that manner. Like I said, if the whole position behind all this is to make Will Ospreay a star, then fuck it. Stop playing games. Stop playing with people's fucking way of thinking, in my opinion. I feel like you insulting a motherfucker's intelligence. Now, mind you, I'm not talking about the AEW faithful, because their intelligence, what intelligence? You know, they'll take anything. I mean, it doesn't matter. As long as it's not WWE, they don't give a fuck. It's the people who actually want to engage with your television show who I actually want to side with. It's the people who want to give your television show a chance, and you're insulting our intelligence, bruh. Like I said, last week's show was a good show. Swerve Strickland is coming back this week. Now, granted, I look at the match card and I see that you won't highlight. And yeah, people may say to themselves, Devontae, why are you grasping at straws at the moment? That ain't that big of a fucking deal. Is it really not that big of a fucking deal that you're willing to highlight every other champion? And mind you, like I said, I thought it was a situation where maybe, okay, Swerve's not, you know, having a match, so maybe that's why. Well, Will Ospreay is also not having a match, and you're going out of your way to plug the championship belt as far as the placeholder for the name. You're willing to plug that. So okay, I gotta ask why. It's the little things like that that people do notice, and they do have to question. Like, you're not presenting him as a world champion. And like I said, I've been saying this for years now. Swerve Strickland he's just another casualty, in my opinion, bruh. This man, I swear, I said it once and I said it again. It's like that world championship is a babysitter for him, bro. That world championship is nothing more than just watching over, or not even watching over, excuse me, but giving him an excuse to not have to worry about anybody else. Like, you know, if you got the world championship, you said, I can go worry about the other kids. The babysitter's watching this kid, I can go watch the other kids, is what I mean by the example. Like, that's not how that works, man. And seeing the position that Swerve Strickland is in right now, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it for the credibility of the World Championship belt. I don't like it as far as how Swerve Strickland is positioned. I don't like it at all. I see stuff like this and I have to ask a question. Multiple questions, actually. So where do we go in the future with Swerve Strickland then, huh? If this is how people like Will Ospreay can just go out of his way. You heard what Will Ospreay just said right now? He said that they have creative plans throughout the year for Will Ospreay, right? And mind you, I'm pretty sure I'm going to take a shot in the dark and assume that, hey man, Adam Page is going to be prepared for his Swerve Strickland, which is it's a step in the right direction. But my thing is, okay, are you going to actually start, you know, promoting Swerve Strickland as the guy? Will Ospreay is not the guy. If he doesn't have the world championship, he is not the guy. And people can sit back and say, oh, they want to. Well, Devontae, Will Ospreay happens to be a bigger star than Swerve Strickland. I don't believe that to be the case. I don't see any draws within AEW. If he was that big of a deal, he would have made a dent in the ratings. I don't see anybody in that company currently at the moment that can have any kind of moral high ground as far as a superstar is considered. They're all the exact same, in my opinion, in my eyes. No one is drawing any higher than the next man. So why not we not stop playing this game and we actually put some fucking TV time, some extra segments on Swerve Strickland rather than having to worry about a Will Ospreay, because Will Ospreay ain't gonna make no fucking body. I don't know who the fuck Will Ospreay think he is, thinking that he's that big of a fucking name that he can actually make somebody. Motherfucker, you ain't that big of a fucking name. I'm tired of cocky motherfuckers like this in the professional wrestling business thinking that their shit don't stink. Motherfucker, if your name ain't Rock, if your name ain't Austin, if your name ain't Hogan, your name ain't Cena, your name ain't these Taker, Sean, Brad, whatever, Angle, whatever, you ain't got the right to say shit as far as making anybody. Motherfucker, you ain't made. Your company, your promotion ain't made. The brand name that you linger under ain't fucking made. Don't let that money get to your head, son. Just because you signed a high deal contract doesn't mean that you're a big deal. It just means the person who hired you happened to be a big mark for you, bruh. You ain't a nobody. No one knows what the fuck a Will Ospreay is. No one cares about what the fuck a Will Ospreay is. And like I said, I can at one point appreciate what he brings to the table as far as the athleticism is considered. I think I underestimated the guy on his promo work, but let's not make any bones about it and pretend that Will Ospreay, in the end of the day, is the big bad fucking Michael Jordan of professional wrestling. No, the fuck he ain't. Just because Buddy can go out there and do a couple of flips and get fucking Dave Meltzer on the side to give him a 7-star match ain't no means at all make me believe that he ain't on par with every other AEW superstar. Motherfucker, I don't come to AEW to watch you. I come to AEW to not want to watch the product at all. In fact, I actually have to review the fucking show, which, by the way, hiatus. Look at the community posts. Just saying. My point being is, though, when I was reviewing the show, it had nothing to do with Will Ospreay. It was an obligation to want to watch the show, and I could probably look at most people and say to themselves that they don't come to work. I want to actually see the realest motherfuckers that actually step up to me and tell me I tune into AEW to watch a Will Ospreay. I call bullshit. I call bullshit, and that's not to say that you come to AEW to watch Swerve Strickland, but that's what I mean. Everybody's on par on the grand scheme of things. Everybody's on the level playing field. So why are we playing these games as far as pretending as if one superstar happens to be bigger than the other? That's bullshit. No one superstar is bigger than everybody within the company in itself. And like I said, going back to the earlier portion of the video, CM Punk was right. Tony, step in, bruh. Step in. Will Ospreay ain't making no motherfucking buddy. That's on you, homie. You need to give that man more segments. You need to give that man more angles. You have to give that man something to work with that makes him feel more prominent on the show. Because I can tell you right now, Will Ospreay going in there and having this 307-star match as if anyone gives a fuck but the AEW faithful and a couple of niche nerds somewhere in New Japan Pro Wrestling or CMLL using their left hand to get off because their right hand is fucking injured from jacking off too hard to the last CMLL 7-star fucking collaboration NXT AEW Forbidden Door Jiu-Jitsu fucking Naruto Kung Fu fucking Dragon Ball Z. Bruh, I'm tired of this shit, bruh. I seen some cat earlier on the fucking Twitter shit, and he was saying some shit. Not to paraphrase, because I'm staying on point here. I'm trying to make a point where this cat, and it's like, this is what I mean when I think people need to understand that the internet is not real life. Now, granted, I will say in the end of the day that the internet is a big proponent in professional wrestling nowadays, but it's just to establish that most people need to understand that the internet is not real life, and by that, even people like me, our perspectives and our mindset as far as how we engage with professional wrestling is not even remotely close to people who just happen to be skimming on social media, looking at their favorite wrestler, looking at their favorite tweets. And for people who think to themselves that the internet right now is what runs professional wrestling, they're just the vocal minority. Even the casual people jump on the internet or jump on Twitter to follow their favorite superstar to see what they're up to follow the WWE to see what quotations or whatever they're posting. No one comes on the internet, no one comes on the IWC to see what the fuck I'm talking about, to see what the next man is talking about. This is just a niche group, and I think people need to understand that. I think people need to get that. I think Tony Khan needs to understand that. Fucking having Will Ospreay going out there and having all these 7-star matches, no one gives a fuck about that. And you gas this man up to make him believe that people give a fuck about that. You gas this man up, Tony or Dave Meltzer, he gassed this man up. That shit just really bothered the fuck out of me for him to actually have the audacity to think that he's making somebody. That shit really got to me, bruh. The fact that Tony let this man get himself to the point where he can actually believe that he can actually make somebody is just fucking weird to me. That's the state of professional wrestling right now. But going to the point, because I'm kind of getting away from the point that I was talking about earlier. I seen Homeboy. It was this dude who posted somewhere on Twitter. He was like, oh, WWE, when doing the Money in the Bank show, it was like an hour and a half worth of wrestling, and the other half was all about promoting commercials and shit like that. Look, and I said it in the tweet, and I'll say it here too. I speak for every wrestling fan who happens to be, you know, above the age of fucking, I don't know, fucking 30, and their beard happens to be a little bit short or non-existent, and I could tell you that they actually showered in the past hour. I could tell you that they have a job, most likely have kids, most likely have things going on in life. No one gives a fuck about that, bruh. they still on this mindset of wrestling. This elitist mindset that a guy like a Will Ospreay has, and that's why he thinks his shit don't stink. Why Tony Khan believes that his shit don't stink, and that he actually has clout to put on Swerve Strickland, when it should be Tony Khan talking about fucking Swerve Strickland's title reign and putting him in a correct position. That's what I mean right there. Bro, no one gives a fuck about any of that shit, man. We come to see characters, we come to see stars, we come to see angles, we come to see stories. Right? I'm not the only motherfucker who believes that. I'm tired. I'm even sick and tired of this whole gesture of, man, we need to have a healthy, balanced team wrestling the fucking story. Nah, fuck that shit. I'm done with that too. Nah, what I want to see is story as a priority. Bars, and I want to see fucking wrestling directly underneath it. Wrestling is nothing more than the tool to accentuate whatever peak you get within the story in itself. It is a tool. It is an ends to the means, bruh. That's all I look at professional wrestling nowadays. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to be an elitist on a certain situation, have to pretend that I have to go back 30, 40 years ago to go watch Tiger Mask versus fucking Dynamite Kid. And by the way, I did watch that match and I did love that match, but what I'm saying is I ain't gotta be some 16-year-old shithead having to go back in the past to prove my stature as a fucking wrestling fan to some fucking Neanderthals online in order to be down with the guys online in the IWC. It's the IWC. Bruh, in the end of the day, this is all just a fandom. We're all nerds in the end of the day, right? For professional wrestling. That's why when I get in nowadays, man, and I pull up a chair and I got a beer in one hand, I got a wrap in the other hand, bruh. All I want to do is sit back and just watch the show. I'm not going to be able to enjoy it in the similar way of how I enjoyed it when I was a kid. I go back to my Christmas analogy that I talked about for the past couple of years when I said that I don't have to celebrate Christmas as a 32-year-old man like I did when I was 7 years old, believing in the magic of Christmas. I can still celebrate it with my son. I can still do other things in order to make Christmas feel special. You know what I mean? And I think professional wrestling can be the exact same way. I can enjoy professional wrestling in a different manner compared to how I enjoyed it in the past. And the only way I'm gonna enjoy it is when you give me a reason to enjoy it, when you give me certain things to want to sink my teeth into. The shit that Will Ospreay is obsessed with to make him believe that he has the clout to do anything in professional wrestling nowadays, the shit that Tony Khan and Dave Meltzer has gassed up in this man's head is nothing that I care to want to see at all. Period, point blank. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I don't really honestly necessarily give a shit about Swerve Strickland either, to be perfectly honest with you. But like I said, once again, going right back, if you're going to put the title on the fucking man, then all I want to see is for reasons as to why you put the title on him and what you're going to do going forward with him having the title. Because otherwise, why'd you put the fucking belt on him? We come back in full circle. Was the 360 in this bitch, bruh. Why did you put the world championship on him if you actually believe you have booked this man to the point where you have a guy like Will Ospreay thinking that he can save him, and then thinking that he has the audacity to just say it out loud like that with no consequences, bruh. Exposing the business left and right. Legit telling us that you got a guy who's not your world champion, who hasn't even been there that long, who is now being introduced to the rest of the casual audience, because of course the AEW niche audience believes that their support means that everybody has the same type of acknowledgement or support for this said wrestler because they pop for this wrestler, because Tony Khan recognizes this wrestler. Nah, bruh, none of that shit is true. No one gives a fuck about that. Stop burying Swerve Strickland. Give the man a reason to want to be a world champion. If that's not going to be the case, then fuck it. Go ahead and give it a Will Ospreay. Ain't going to make no difference anyways. Ratings going to be exactly still the same way. Makes no fucking difference. Tired of these fucking wrestlers. Tired of these fucking promoters. Tired of these fans, bruh. Y'all really put too much stock in these fucking people for nothing, man. You got legends back in the days who couldn't make 1/10 of what these motherfuckers are making guaranteed nowadays. Who have like fucking 10 times the star power, 10 times the popularity, 10 times the talent, 10 times the skill. Just because Will Ospreay can do a backflip doesn't mean his backflip is gonna draw any more than Stone Cold Steve Austin throwing a punch in the motherfucker's face, bro. Get real, get over it, and get a fucking life. As always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be back later on tomorrow, maybe the next day, it depends. Again, let me get back to fixing this air conditioner right now. Y'all can probably still hear it going in the background. As always, I'll catch y'all later. Deuces, P, Ice.